to Scott Dixon, the rookie, trying to score a win on an oval. Let's see if he can do it. Kenny Breck is right there. Traffic just ahead. He's just got to negotiate this traffic. Kenny Breck drops back a little bit. Kenny Breck moves to the inside. Now tries to sweep to the outside. Doesn't look like it's going to happen for Breck, but it will happen for Scott Dixon. The rookie becomes the 46th driver to win in kart.
Good job, Al. Beautiful.
He scores his win in his third start. The 5th win for Pac West. Let's go to Gary Gerald. Bruce McCall. Trying to make sure that Dixon has a clear run. Should he need it? White flag. 1 lap to go for Scott Dixon. Rookie looking for a win. DeFerrin closes. Down the backstretch. Tailwind here. Oh, and Scott Dixon is looking so solid. Scott Dixon on his way to the checkered flag. 29th different winner in 72 IRL events. Scott Dixon wins in Miami, 22 years old.
Thanks, everybody.
DeFerrin, Catherine Nevis.
Last shot, but as they come by, this time the checkered flag will wave along with the yellow.
You see Kanan pulls up there to congratulate the winner. There's the checkered flag and the yellow flag from
backside commentators.
Oh, Larry, now race control is saying the checkered flag will come out the next time by, and they will complete. There's the red flag and the checkered flag together, so they're going to end this race after 206 circuits. And there is the checkered flag. Brian Howard has the checkered flag, the red flag together, and that means that Scott Dixon has won his 3rd event of the season, and the first time in the history of this division a guy has led every lap
here in the
of
Indy
the race.
Racing League and is now looking to win for the first time in a couple of years. He is halfway around on his final lap.
The lead is now 2.3 seconds for Scott Dixon. Back to Tom Michaels.
And we've got a crash up here. It is Tomas Inge and Elio Castroneves coming down into that bus stop area.
Still looking for Scott Dixon to exit the boot. He'll be a couple of turns away from victory lane. As we mentioned, the first time in 40 starts, Scott Dixon will revisit victory lane. No problems at the exit at turn number 9. He'll slow behind the safety car. He almost ran into the back of the safety car. Tony Kanaan lets off of it. Mike King, the leader, will be in front of you.
So the full course yellow is being displayed for the 2-car incident involving Elio Castroneves and Tomas Inga at the bus stop location of the track. And it will be the New Zealander ending the skid for Target Chip Ganassi Racing for the first time in 40 starts. Number 9 is going to roll into victory lane. Scott Dixon is going to take the checkered flag. The 2003 IndyCar Series champion is a winner once again. Kevin Olson is with Chip Ganassi.
Chip, what a turnaround.
Now for Vitor Mir in the orange car that's right behind Scott Dixon. He needs to make sure he is on the gas. Dixon's already charging on the throttle. Vitor should have been just a little bit closer behind him.
Dixon trying to get a good jump as he comes around turn 11.
Green flag, green flag.
The green and white flies. 1 lap to go at Watkins Glen.
This is when your heart is racing, Marty. You just got your foot on the gas. You're trying to drive the thing as fast as possible through the turns.
Boy, and Dixon is just trying to check out on Mira. 3rd place, Ryan Briscoe has dropped back as well. So there's a huge gap between 1st, 2nd. There's 3rd place Briscoe. So right now, Scott Dixon through the chicane for the last time. the spotter, giving him an idea of how many car lengths, about 5 car lengths over second place.
Right now he's looking out. He's looking at all these wet spots on the racetrack. I can't touch those things. Driving the last lap of his life for guys right now. If he gets in this rain, 1 lap to go, he's going to be in trouble.
Formula One raced here back in the 60s all the way through 1980. Now it's the IndyCar Series, and maybe for the 2nd year in a row, it will be Scott Dixon with the winner's laurel wreath hanging around his neck. And then, of course, he'll have to make a stop over the Seneca Lodges. He almost twitches right through there. The Lodge keeps all the race. And he's right, there is no pressure. Scott Dixon is on cruise control right now, although I bet you he doesn't feel that way.
No pressure behind, buddy.
Through the final turn for the final time, for the 2nd year in a row, it will be Scott Dixon seeing the checkers here at Watkins Glen.
That's the way you do it, Scott. Good job.
A couple laps ago, made a mistake, got too high and lost. He can't afford any mistakes right now. He knows exactly what he did wrong, where he needs to pick his pass. He gets a big draft down the front straightaway. White flag's waving.
1 lap to go. It's Dixon. Will he pick up career win number 6? Or will his teammate, Dan Weldon, take home career win number 11? Dixon keeping the low line, hugging the bottom of the racetrack. Coming out of 4. 1 last shot for Weldon. He won't do it. Scott Dixon, Dan Weldon, Vitor Mira, Danica Patrick with her best.
And that's turn 8. Only a few more to go. No pressure from behind. All he has to do is manage 2 more corners. Dixon through turn number 10. He's led 133 of 455 laps in the last 6 road course races. He's going to see the checkered flag for the 3rd year in a row at Watkins Glen, the 7th of his career.
Great run.
Laps in this race, so that helps towards his championship drive also.
Yeah, and Mom and Dad are loving it too, as son Scott could be on his way to a back-to-back win. We're on the final lap. It's only the 3rd time, if it happens, in IndyCar Series history where we go from a road course to an oval with the same winners. Dan Weldon did it in 05, Elio in 06, and coming out of turn 4 with his 8th win of his career, 2nd consecutive win.
Great run today, man.
Scott
Got
Dixon.
That deal. Good job. Awesome job, guys. Awesome job. That's fantastic.
Dario Franchitti, the points leader, 2nd. The sub.
Maybe he would have had another shot of being further up front.
Would have been interesting. We'll never know. But right now, it's all about Scott Dixon. Up over turn 9. Keeps the car from going too far over that rise where it becomes so loose. There's the Dario Franchitti into the carousel for the final time. The 3rd driver in series history to win 3 in a row. He joins Weldon and Kenny Breck. His 9th career win.
Okay,
3rd
buddy,
this season. There it is, the double checkers. As another 10 points. Dixon looks like he has enough to make it all the way to the finish line.
Bring it home, baby.
You heard him on the radio. Of course, Dixon, a former champion of the series. The reference to come on, champ. Will he be the champion again? Well, he's going to take the points lead. With this win here, he's just got a few more turns to negotiate. Elio takes a look, can't get it done. Coming through the final corners, Scott Dixon will be the 2nd man to win 4 races this year, his 10th career win here at Infineon.
Way to go, buddy.
Back in 3rd place.
How you doing?
It is all the way around. There's no traffic in front. We'll have to see if we can actually even get enough closeness to the car in front as a white flag is drawn to even get a draft, but I don't think so, Marty.
1.5 miles to go. Remember the last race last year at Chicago? It was this last lap that cost Scott Dixon the championship. Doesn't look like that's going to be the problem here on the season opener of 2008. Is this a taste of things to come? Well, it's definitely a great night for Marco Andretti. He's never done well at this track, has never finished. But coming out of 4, Scott Dixon with his 11th career win and 2nd at Homestead, Miami. Andretti in second. Dan
Next
Rowe,
one.
who was looking for
It looks like Mira is losing ground because of the lap traffic. Here we go. The white flag is about to be shown to Scott Dixon. Remember, he finished second here last year. That's Buddy Lazier in front of him, the 1996 winner. Lazier, several laps down. Come on, not in between.
Clear. Bring it home now. Bring it home.
You heard him. Bring it home. He's down the backstretch. Remember, at the beginning of the day, we talked about the perfect storm. Well, for Scott Dixon, his storm started last year at Chicago when he lost the race and the championship on the final turn of the final lap of the final race. But not today. Coming through turn number 4, Scott Dixon is going to complete his perfect storm with a win at the Indianapolis 500. Exceptional.
Take your time and wait to those people, Scott. Great job, man. Woo! Good job, boys.
Out front.
Good job.
We didn't know about the other guys, but we knew we could race those guys in that rich field position at the end. So he did a heck of a job tonight.
And guys, the great thing he said, the engineers need an IV right now. They had to do a lot of ciphering, as they say.
Well, here comes the checkered flags, the 13th time in his career, 3rd time this year, and his first win at Texas for Scott Dixon under the yellow. It's the 2nd win for Target Chip Ganassi Racing. Of course, the season finale at Chicagoland, where NASCAR is running this weekend. And let's talk a little bit about what we are just being told. The race has now been called by IndyCar officials. So for Scott Dixon, there he is, his 4th win this year, 3rd in a row at Nashville. No one's ever done that. His 14th career win.
I think he likes it like that, though, Bob. I think he likes going about things quietly. He doesn't necessarily like the spotlight on him, and he always gets the job done.
Here's the checkered flag, and Scott Dixon wins the Rexall Edmonton Indy, his 5th win of the year, and finally
he is 6 seconds behind. It is all in the hands of Elio. Can he get 4 more laps of fuel out of this race car? There goes Buddy Rice as he goes around. He is a lap down as well in 10th. Give you proximity. Here is Scott Dixon coming across the stripe, heading for 1.
Remember, we talked about what we're going to watch for to see if Elio could beat Dixon. This is exactly what he needs to do. It's the 10-point difference between 1st and 2nd, but Dixon will gain 3 points by leading the most laps here, so that's only a bonus of about 7 for Elio Castroneves. But Castroneves now just has to see if he can find somebody in front of him to run to break the air, to just give him a little bit better fuel mileage in Jackaroo.
Well, you've been in this position. Tim Cindric just told his driver, save fuel, save fuel. That's the toughest dictum to come from that man on the right to the driver on the left. Save fuel.
The lead is down to 4.4 seconds. Dixon has got it on full tilt boogie. There goes Oriol Servia pass. Servia is 13th, 2 laps down. Here comes Dixon. The gap is closing. 2 laps to go. The question only now is, does Elio have enough fuel?
It's going to be the same deal, Lifty. 2 laps to go. The leader's right behind you. You got to go. You got to go. White flag.
You heard Cindric.
That was
you
the case, guys, of Tim Cindric giving the dictum and Elio Castroneves not understanding. He backed out of it. Here we go. Final lap.
All right, so here we go down into turn number 1. Elio Castroneves has got to put the hammer down. There's nothing to hold back because here comes Scott Dixon. He has got him in his sights down the back stretch. If there's enough fuel in the tank, this is Elio's race. Here he comes through 3, through 4, and here comes Dixon. He's flying on the outside. This could be the salt in the wounds. It is going to be Dixon taking the win. Elio looks like he ran out of fuel just as he crosses the line.
He's hitting the steering wheel going, what do I need to do to win one of these this year? 2nd place again.
What a flashback.
To drive it off the right rear tire. We've talked about it all weekend. Scott Dixon is the Oval Meister. First 2 races of 2009 have not been good. 16th at St. Pete, 15th at Long Beach. But he is within 1 lap of victory here this afternoon. Scott Dixon wants to come to Indy with momentum, and it appears as if he is going to do so for Target Chip Ganassi Racing. He's on the bottom of the racetrack looking toward the checkered flag. And Scott Dixon wins his 17th race in his IndyCar career, second behind Sam Hornish in victories. His 11th win on an
He'll
oval.
get the white flag as he comes out of turn number 4. It's more lap traffic in front of him, but there it is. 1 lap remaining here at the Milwaukee Mile in the 2009 edition of this storied race. The battle for second continues, as it is Franchitti trying to get underneath the 6 of Briscoe. Down the back straightaway for the last time, through turns 3 and 4, coming out of turn 4. Scott Dixon, his 18th career win, one behind Sam Hornish on the all-time IndyCar Series win list.
He'd be up there dancing, or even hitting the wall.
White flag is waving for Scott Dixon. Less than 3/4 of a mile to go.
Ganassi domination, that's what we've seen here at Richmond.
Off the 4th corner, here's the checkered flag. Scott Dixon wins. Way to go, Scott. Great job tonight, man. You won it for us. Well done. I think I saw him make a single mistake, did you?
Now put a wheel wrong that we saw.
Yep.
What a great, I mean, that takes just focus, concentrate. I mean, just what he's done on the in-laps and out-laps that are the keys to these things. He's done it better than anybody. Fantastic.
Well, Scott Dixon comes off the 13th corner, gets the double checkers, and wins his 20th career race, breaking the tie with Sam Hornish.
Yeah, they're still dominant.
Yeah, but everything went their way.
Oh, sure.
Here is Scott Dixon getting the white flag. He's on the last lap of the race. Still with a little more than a second advantage on his teammate Dario Franchitti. There's the interval between first and second.
And this is a weekend of maximum points right here. Pole, laps, the whole deal.
53 points. Scott Dixon, his 5th win of the season. More importantly, this topsy-turvy points race has turned upside down as we head to Miami to settle the 2009 IndyCar Champion.
Side by side, it is Kanaan. He takes the position. Looks like he's going to be able to clear. White flag will be out this time by. Dixon sees it, and look at the gap that he's got. All he has to do is stay clean.
Yeah, but watch Tony right now. He's got the speed. He's going high, he's going low, and Franchitti leaves that low line open just a little bit.
Some lap traffic in front of him.
He closes it.
That's Danica Patrick trying to go down low, but there's no place for Kanaan to go. Here comes your race winner. 2 years in a row it's going to be Scott Dixon in second.
I mean, they may take it away with another penalty, but he still is the leader physically on the track until they stop scoring him. They wanted to take it away with a drive-through, but he hasn't given it yet.
Yeah, and he's coming to the checkered flag right now.
Here comes
and he's
the
going to take the checkered flag on the racetrack.
Elliott will take it first, but did Scott Dixon win the race? Oh, man, what an afternoon of racing.
Kind of wondering where we go with all this right now, huh?
Another win, I guess, for Chip Ganassi. He won earlier today at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Brickyard 400, and apparently wins with Scott Dixon here in Edmonton.
Less than 2 laps to go till the end of the race. Scott Dixon, the leader. Franchitti on his way to the championship. Danica to the inside of TK now as the white flag comes out for Scott Dixon. 1.5 miles to go. And look at these two continue to go hammer and tong.
Hardball. They're playing, that's hardball there.
Dario also less than 1.5 miles away from his championship. Scott Dixon started the evening perhaps as a wingman for Dario Franchitti. He comes home as the winner of the Café do Brasil Indy 300. Finishing in second position was, I believe, Danica Patrick got Scott Dixon, or rather Tony Kanaan, but the championship for Going to walk out of here with more points ahead of Will Power than before the race started.
This may be the slowest lap he's ever had.
Yeah. Yep.
I think he's taking it real easy.
Well, the wait is over for the New Zealander. He adds his name to the list of 2011 winners. A dominating performance as Scott Dixon takes the checkered flags and wins the Honda Indy 200 here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Difference in points now 13 as Franchitti moves up to 9th. Will Power second.
They're going to finish where they started. How about that after all that?
Good point. Here comes Scott Dixon through the final few corners. And the final race at Twin Ring Motegi is going to go to Scott Dixon, his 27th career win, second of the season. He also won at Mid-Ohio. It's his 10th career win on a road course.
Through the fountain section one last time, lights up the left front tire. He's got enough breathing room. He doesn't have to force the issue. Heading for turn 13. One more corner to go. Scott Dixon, for the 28th time in his career, is going to win here on Belle Isle in Detroit.
Well done, man. Great job today. Wave to those people that stayed.
More action behind as
next is Sonoma, California, the road course, then the street course in Baltimore, Maryland, and the season ends on the oval at Fontana, California, a 500-miler. Just a great performance from Scott Dixon. He and the crew that got him out ahead of Will Power has resulted in a victory for Scott Dixon, his 4th here at Mid-Ohio, 29th of his career, 2nd win this season. He also won at Detroit. Will Power 2nd, Pagano made it.
Have a little bit of a look there and ended up, you can tell his car's not working well because he got out of the gas.
You heard it. The white flag is out. It'll be the 200th win for Honda. And it's going to be a sweep for Honda in the top 3 spots unless something drastic happens in this last lap. And we'll have another new winner for the year. That'll be 8 different winners in 11 races. Look at Emma. She is thrilled, and rightfully so.
And Ganassi is back on the map.
This has definitely got to be a boost.
Yeah, because right now Dixon's having problems because Kanon's just up ahead. He's probably getting disturbed air. Can't keep the momentum in the turns.
Well, they're coming down to the wire, and here it is. Checkered flag is out for the 30th time in his career. Scott Dixon gets the win. Kimball second. Franchitti completes the sweep, and the celebration begins.
Congratulations to Honda on their 200th victory.
For 60 seconds of extra boost. Let's watch this little troublemaker.
And the back straight. At a starter.
Overtake on the start straight and the back straight. That's the instruction. We're getting ready to race and finish this first of 2 races here in Toronto. Will it be Dixon or can Bourdais do something special? Dixon's gone. There's no way that he's going to let that happen. Green and white. One more lap, 1.75 miles. Who's on the inside there? That's Helio Castroneves trying to get by his countryman and friend Tony Kanaan.
And Mike Conway is going to have a big run on Castroneves here. Mike Conway on the button, on those red tires. Let's see if he can get a run. No.
Look at power on Franchitti. Inside goes.
Oh no!
Hang on to it. The two come together.
No!
Wow! And Power knocks himself out of it.
And this will send him straight to the back of the pack.
No, for Will Power. We told you about these 2 guys at Toronto. Yeah. They're like oil and water, and it's happened again. However, up front, it is clear that Scott Dixon has been the class of this opening race. He is the man And it was unbelievable last weekend in Pocono. What a dominant performance. Good fuel economy from the Hondas. Great driving from Scott Dixon. And the man who is Chip Ganassi's longest tenured driver wins the first one in Toronto. Dixon gets back-to-back victories. This guy is staging his championship run.
Annoyance, whatever it is, all of them.
And what about the defending series champion, Ryan Hunter-Reay? There he is, he gets out of the car. This is the final lap of the race. What a weekend it has been for Scott Dixon. This is incredible. 3 wins in a row and a $100,000 bonus to Scott Dixon. 3 in a row, says Emma. And there's the boss. This has been an unbelievable run. They had 1, 2, 3 on the podium in Pocono last weekend. This is her highest career accomplishment. She's never stood on an IndyCar podium. Her teammate won the Indy 500 this year. But today, in addition to Dixon, is Simona's day. They will be celebrating. Good crowd on hand here at Reliant Park Stadium. Dixon wins his 4th of the year and the first of this Texas doubleheader.
Good job, boys. That's what we needed. Makes it a little more interesting now.
Indeed it will. A Dixon, Di Silvestro, Wilson podium. Let's go.
Largó último, es verdad. La bandera amarilla le cayó en el momento justo. Le ayudó a acomodar la carrera, pero eso no le impidió mantener un ritmo sensacional, marcar diferencia con el resto y ahora termina prácticamente paseándose, desfilando en la última vuelta, ahorrando combustible donde es el rey, lo maneja mejor que nadie. Señoras, señores, pónganse de pie, recta principal, ha ganado Scott Dixon, el dominio de Ganassi en Mid-Ohio es histórico y continúa.
10ª victoria para Ganassi en este escenario, 5ª para Scott Dixon.
¿No tiene más combustible?
Sí, suficiente, pero cruzó la línea.
Guys, Will Power sees those points right in front of him, but they're worried he's going to make it to the end on fuel. They're telling him no overtake. I know it's tempting, no overtake. We must make it to the checkered.
Wow, he last pitted on lap 61. Now Marco Andretti inside Justin Wilson. They are wheel to wheel, maybe even a little bit of contact. Will Power right behind him, and now Bourdais putting pressure. But up front, Scott Dixon, the team, Chip Ganassi, Target Racing, have played it perfectly. Scott Dixon onto the front straightaway. Scott Dixon wins at Sonoma Raceway.
Well done.
Ryan Hunter-Reay finishes second. They stay in the championship hunt. Simon Pagenaud through as well in third. He had a bad weekend. It's come good, and Will Power trying to pick up another position. On in the blue 10, a little bit loose off the corner. Pagenaud does have one push to pass left.
So does Bourdais.
On the button.
Bourdais got one on Kanaan. He's going to burn it right here.
You see the blocking, and Pagenaud's got to make this as his last chance.
Can't get it done there. Can he get it done in the hairpin? There's no way Montoya will leave it open. Scott Dixon wins at Long Beach for the first time. This battle far from done, though. Juan Pablo Montoya in front of Pagenaud. He's going to hold the position. Bourdais cannot get it done on Tony Kanaan. And Juan Pablo Montoya holds on to the last podium spot here at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. But
Andretti, who we
Scott
thought
Dixon
was in the hunt just a little while ago, but by virtue of having to save fuel, he's lapping at 198 miles an hour. And Scott Dixon, the white flag flies, and it's 1.4 miles and change for Scott Dixon, and he will have win number 2 on the 2015 season. It would be his second victory here at Texas. He won back in 2008. Will Power flashes by. Scott Dixon, everything has worked for him tonight. The car underneath him, from the drop of the green all the way to the checkered flag. Scott Dixon wins in Texas. Just a phenomenal run.
The team will be telling Juan Pablo Montoya, this is it. Give it everything you've got. Go and get that Schmidt-Peterson Honda, and the championship's yours. But time is running out. Scott Dixon into that final corner, and that checkered flag will be waiting.
One last brake zone, and it's going to be next to impossible
Dixon gets back-to-back wins at Sonoma, but we can't give this championship to him just yet. We wait for the rest to come across the line, and Montoya cannot do it. Scott Dixon not only wins in Sonoma, but wins the 2015 championship.
We win on the tiebreak.
Incredible performance.
Just a little bit too late of a call, which is a shame to end this under yellow. It would have been nice to see some strategy play out like Iowa. Guys take tires. You know, the leader stays out, and then it's a whole different story. Well, not a shame for this guy. An absolutely flawless job again for Scott Dixon. 39th career win for Scott Dixon, his first at Phoenix. And the four-time champion is in the win column in 2016.
Well done, boys. Good to see you. Great pit stops, man. Thank you very much. Well done.
As you can see, just calm.